Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to have with me here in London, Yorkshire's finest, Stefy. Steph, good to see you here, mate. How are things, firstly?
Good, thank you. Yeah, over to see Raven tonight as a manager. So very hot in there. I've been sweating cobs. I don't know how it is for these fighters in there. They must not be able to breathe. Bless them, doing distance in there. So yeah, very hot and enjoying the evening.
How's everything else in the gym with everybody else? Everything ticking along nicely?
Yeah, all good. Terri in good form. Big fight October 7th, so busy with her. Then I've got Conor on with Harper Price, so a busy night happening on 7th. So yeah, busy times at gym.
Is there? I know for fighters it's one step at a time, but you're plotting probably the next 2 or 3 fights beyond that. So you see Terri. Where do you see her ideal route after September?
I think I've stopped doing all that. With experience, I've gone through and gone into positions of what's next, and if you don't win, there's nothing next. So our full focus with that fight is on Cecilia Brækhus and Terri becoming unified world champion. I'm not looking beyond that. I think it's could be a tough fight, so fully focused on that, to be fair.
Steph, there's a lot of things going on in boxing at the moment, so I'll pick on some of the hot topics. Obviously, more recently over the last kind of 24, 48 hours, we learned that another athlete, a female athlete this time around, BAUMGARDNER, has failed a VADA test of some sort. There's some sort of adverse finding. Now, is it concerning that from the outside, there doesn't seem to be a clear process on how these matters are actually dealt with? It's one of them subjects where everyone seems to have an opinion, and I would imagine every case is different with different findings, but it's not a good look for boxing at the minute. I think it's been an hard 12 months for fans, new fans coming in, and old fans who's not used to it. But I think the situation is, it's like I seen Eddie do an interview and going on about how much they're testing now, and probably that is the difference. So it's like this morning we've had VADA at the gym with random testing Jason Cunningham, who recently boxed a couple of weeks ago. Not even, luckily, he wasn't in gym, just training one of his fighters. And so, like 5 years ago, I would have never had anybody coming to the gym to do random testing. Only testing that was done would have been in major title fights, but now you're getting tested on English title fights, British title fights, and so on. So I think there's that much testing going on. This is why we're finding more findings, but it's not good. It's not a good look for boxing. And personally, I mean, how do you deal with it? And probably, why not lifetime bans? In other sports, is the lifetime bans. I just think that might just ice it all together. Is it harsh? I don't know. If you're cheating, I think the difference with boxing is fighters are putting their life on the line, and it's an hard sport as it is. It's brutal, and when 2 fighters are going to a ring, it's life and death. That's how serious boxing is, and I always tell my fighters how serious boxing is, and if they're not training right, they won't fight. It's very serious. So to cheat, to beat somebody and put their life in danger is wrong, and maybe a lifetime bans is the way forward, or would put an end to it possibly. Eddie Hearn spoke a couple of weeks ago about Conor Benn now being cleared to fight, UCAD, etc. The board have now appealed that decision, so does that further confuse matters for you?
That's exactly it. This is why it's not a good time for boxing. It seems like Conor's presented cases and kind of not being cleared, but like gave explanations that science has said it's what is it, conduct not done it basically, or it's confusing, isn't it? It's even confusing for us boxing people or boxing fans. So I think it's just unhealthy. It's confusing, like. You know, I don't even know what to say on it. It baffles me, but it's just not a good look at minute. There's a lot of new faces and younger fans coming into boxing, and it don't look good and look positive on them. So, you know, let's hope it ends soon and we can get a line drawn and they find some solutions that it maybe does come to an end.
What do you make of Anthony Joshua's ring return last week?
Well, it's hard, isn't it? Because everybody wants to. I've just done another interview and somebody's asked me the same. I think he got the job done. Did he make hard work at it? I was expecting it to be an easier performance. But, like, he's had a full camp for Dillian for 8-12 weeks. I haven't long noticed. Then all of a sudden, within a week, totally, the event's off, then it's on. His mindset, and you've got to be focused. And I mean, I did it with Terri over months when we're fighting Brackhurst, and then the next week somebody totally. It's easy to encourage a fighter to be ready, but they're not. They've had a training camp completely for somebody else, and that gets landed on them. But if there's talk of the Wilder fight, he's definitely got to be better than that performance in that. But I just think. It seems like everybody's harsh on AJ, and he deserves a little bit more leeway. You know, he's been fantastic. He's transcended British boxing. He's been fantastic. I just think give him a few more fights before the Wilder. I think I'd like to see him have a couple more fights, but obviously I'm not part of his team. But it would be nice to see him have a couple more, grow into his new coach, and then let him go. But I think he's been great for British boxing. I'm a fan of AJ's.
I just want to read a quote from Carl Froch where he said that performance was awful, it was terrible, he was tentative, he was gun shy, he's not rebuilding, he's not learning on the job, he's 33 years old and he needs to be getting a move on with good performances. Deontay Wilder will be watching that performance, absolutely licking his lips.
Yeah, I read it. He's gone in hard there, anti-old Carl. He said it out. Hey, listen, like the beauty about this game, we all have an opinion. We all have an opinion, but does that opinion mean anything to AJ? I mean, that's how Carl's seen it, and that's how he's read it. So, you know, that's his opinion on it, and he's got to respect Carl's opinion, hasn't you, when somebody of that stature. But I think there has been a little bit of back and forth, hasn't there? You know, he's left his coach and all that kind of thing. So it's a bit of back and forth going on there. But yeah, brutal, like.
What do you think Dillian was thinking watching AJ's performance?
Well, it's hard to see him again. I mean, I think he'd have been thinking more than something else. I mean, he can't be judging anything else under his situation or circumstances, can he? But yeah, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because it'd have been probably a different fight with Dillian. He's just had a 12-week training camp for Dillian Whyte, and then Dillian's not there, so he's gone from somebody short, winging him in over the top, to somebody upright and a long jab, totally opposite. So it's hard to judge. He got the job done, but he made hard work of it.
Daniel Dubois travels to Poland next week to take on the great Alexander Usyk, you know, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and now trying to become an undisputed heavyweight champion. Is this a tougher fight for Usyk than Joshua?
No. I think Dubois, big, strong, heavyweight boxing, anything can happen, but you only see an uphill task there. I think Usyk's special. He's a genuine pound for pounder, arguably pound for pound. Somebody could easily have him pound for pound. I think in the heavyweight division, the only fight out there that is universal for everyone to be interested is they want to see Usyk and they want to see Tyson. That is the fight in the heavyweight division, isn't it? All the belts undisputed. That's got to be happening.
Chris Eubank Jr. Attempts to avenge his loss to Liam Smith. Obviously now being trained by BAUMGARDNER, who's Terence Crawford's trainer. What do you make of that? And can a trainer with such short notice, 4 weeks, I think all they have, make necessary adjustments?
The fight war, Liam made it easy into the first fight, so it's hard to see anything else different. I think Liam's a very good fighter, been a top level fighter for many years. He's not showing any decline whatsoever. It was an heavy knockout. That's going to be hard to overcome. I only see another Liam Smith win, but Eubank has been in some tough fights and come through. I only see Liam Smith winning that one again.
Okay, Steph, I know you got a train to catch, so I will let you leave.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the time you gave me because I did stop you as you were walking out.
Sweating cobs as well,
Well, at least the air conditioning's on in here.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me up. I've calmed down now.
Stefy, thank you for speaking to Boxing King Media.
Thank you.